Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing something a little different for you. I'm going to be doing a mediumship channeling reading using the tarot. So, we're going to see what energy comes up. Now, if this reading resonates with you, and if you like this type of reading, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment box to, see how you like this, see if there's anything you want me to add or look at. We're just going to be trying something just a little bit different today. So I'd love your input into how to proceed forward with this because this is new doing it on YouTube this way. So just yeah, just let me know what you think. Okay. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space. Oh, and if you're looking at and interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Okay, so let's start off with the energy that spirit, no, let's start off with the chakra energy for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, okay. So we're going to go like this. So we have universal light. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is the earth chakra, and this is the crown chakra right here. Now we have spiritual awakening and Mother Earth reversed. So we can have blockages right now in our earth star chakra right here and our crown chakra. There's a sense of a disconnect. There's an awakening coming our way. And we've been fighting it. So just be aware of that. If you're feeling a bit drained, a bit overwhelmed, you're not quite sure why. There is this awakening coming into our crown chakra, which we are having a bit of difficulty accepting, embracing during this time. Even if it's something that we've been wanting, that we've been looking forward to, that we've been really asking to manifest in our lives, the awakening of the crown chakra can just be overwhelming to us. So, an acknowledgement of that and knowing that our ancestors on the other side, that our spirit guides, that, that there's loving energy guiding us, not to step into things blindly because that's never something to be comfortable with, but to really open ourselves up. And even if we say, okay, you know what, I'm not sure about my ancestors, I'm not sure about, spirit guides, but if we have a prayer that we like to pray, a way that we like to meditate, to step into and just visualize our crown chakra with that energy can be astoundingly beneficial to us. Then we have the earth chakra, the earth star chakra reversed. Now, the earth star chakra is located 6 inches below our feet. And there is a way that we need to connect, and we're not connecting with the earth. We can be just disconnected because life has gotten crazy. We're always pushing, we're always going, we're always, trying for more type of thing. And we've just gotten disconnected with the earth, but also with the grounding energy that is important to us, however that manifests, whether it be going outside and gardening, whether it be slowing down and mending clothes instead of throwing them away, or, cooking a good meal for ourselves, but also getting outside, having a cup of coffee outside, getting outside and breathing in that fresh air, grounding ourselves, taking off our shoes, connecting with the earth can be just so beneficial to us. Universal light, this is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. There's an awakening that's happening. There's this light that's coming in, which is funny because we can think, oh, I'm not connecting with my crown chakra, but now I'm connecting with this like higher power energy healing light. Like, how does that make sense? This is because it's the light that's coming into our body. It's the energy that's coming into us. It's like we're plugged in. But once we're plugged in, we might be a little bit confused and a little bit of overwhelmed as to how to handle all of this. So just be aware of this during this time and this energy. Let's see what Spirit wants us to be mindful of during this time. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Here we have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. The Nine of Pentacles is having a bit of difficulty when it's in the be mindful, stage. We're having a bit of difficulty being in the present. We can really show up for the past. We can really project into the future, but showing up for us right now, that can be a challenge. And we just need to acknowledge that. We also need to acknowledge, how things get out of hand in our mind. We can say, oh, it's going to be like this, or I already know the answer type of thing. And what Spirit is telling us here is that you don't already know the answer. To step into the present and not let fear guide us is going to be one of the most powerful things for us, Aries, because we're a being that lives in the present anyway. We're the youngest of the zodiac. So that's why they say Aries season is is the new year of the zodiac, because it's the beginning. So we're already seen as, and already are, a young sign, but a sign that's able to live in the present, live in the moment. It's because of the baggage that we carry just simply from living that makes us doubt that we can move forward the way that we want to, makes us doubt that we can achieve what we want to achieve, and has us living in the past or in the future, because that's not really the place that Aries wants to be. We want to be in the present. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And here we have soulful. This isn't just like soulful food or soulful music or things like that, though it can be. It is anything that energizes and charges our soul, that fills our soul back up. And that is what we're going to need to connect with during this time. It is our soul. It's filling our soul up. However that looks like for us, whatever that looks like for us, that's going to be one of the most empowering and powerful things. Now it moves us to our tarot energy, which again, we're doing channeling with Spirit. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and Spirit guides. Angels. Okay. So we're doing our channeling, our mediumship during this time. We're channeling things through the cards. Also my Spirit guides. See everything. We're crowned here with the High Priestess reverse. That is reiterating the, blocked crown chakra energy that's coming in. Okay. This is really telling us with the crown chakra, it's awakening. We have an awakening coming forward. We're afraid of it. We're overwhelmed by what we're seeing. We want things to fit into a certain box and into a certain way. We want things to have their categories, their meanings. And Spirit is saying here, things are going to be happening during this time that you're not going to be able to explain. And once upon a time, sure, you were fine with this. You went with the flow. I'm seeing when you were very little, like an active, imaginary friend, imaginative world, creativity, abounding. But there's a sense of, I need to become more practical. And you might not sit there and think of yourself as a very practical, unimaginative person. But what Spirit is saying here is that you've cut off a vital part of yourself that saw what others couldn't, that looked deeper into the unknown, that, it's kind of like you could know when, I just see this as like, I know when adults are lying. I know when, people's energies are off. But because the voice got too loud, of Spirit, of this connection, and it was pulling me off of the course that either I saw as proper or somebody told me was proper, or I thought, this is what success looks like. I stepped away from where I really needed to be. So this is almost a sense of, something hidden, most definitely, but a closing of the door. I just see like I'm closing the door. Now you can also have somebody in your ancestral line, you might never have met this person, who did the same exact thing. They're tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, I wasted this gift. I didn't utilize it. I need you to utilize it. I need you to step into this power. Okay. And this person is going to be coming to you in your dreams. This person is going to be sending you signs. I mean, seriously, this person is a bit annoying. They are. They're saying, I know I'm annoying you and I'm doing it on purpose. So just be aware of this during this time that the high priestess is saying here, I need you to step into this power, even though you are afraid to. This is also sacred feminine energy. We can be afraid of stepping into our sacred feminine energy, of owning it. Now, with the 10 of Cups right here, the 10 of Cups reversed is really looking at things and saying, okay, everybody else is happy but me. Now, it can be that we're on social media too much. It can be that we're honest with ourselves, so we're judging our happiness. This is what makes me happy, this isn't. But we're judging everybody else's happiness off of what they tell us or off of what we perceive. And the perception is off. So just be aware of this, that we are going to be harder on ourselves and we're looking at our happiness saying, that's not really going to pay the bills the way I want them to be paid, or that's not really going to move things forward the way I want things to move forward. So it's not making me happy, or it's not what it needs to be. And Spirit's really saying here, stop it, stop it. There are things that give you joy. Now, this is, of course, talking about, just for clarification for people, this is talking about respectable things, not harmful, hateful, hurtful, terrible things that people do that say, oh, but it gives me joy. It's like, no, that's not joy. That's like sick. So what I'm saying here, and what Spirit wants to make very clear, is that this is opening up our hearts to happiness. This is saying, I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm opening up my heart to happiness, joy, and success. This happiness, in the way that we're opening up our heart, it can lead to heartbreak and pain and disappointment. It can. Because when we're living with the power of the heart leading us forward, we're a lot more raw, a lot more sensitive, a lot more in tuned. And that can be harder for us, Aries, especially because, we want things to be a certain way. We want to be able to move things forward towards success and towards power and towards accomplishment. And sometimes happiness, we don't really see it as that strategic warrior move forward. So just be aware of this. Just be aware that this isn't, Instagrammable happiness. This isn't, life is better here because I've used this editing, whatever on it. This is saying what makes me happy, because we've been looking at everything as to, well, what makes this person happy and what makes that person happy. And really what I'm getting from spirit, my spirit guides right now, is stop looking at everybody else. Stop looking at everybody else, because you're not them and you'll never be them. And that's one of the message from Spirit where they say, if we could come down to earth and do it again, we would live just purely for us in that childlike joy where we're not being self-conscious. We're not being overly aware of things. We're not, putting our own narrative onto people's facial reactions or, letting their harsh words wound us. We're just simply being. There's need to just simply be, to be joyous, to be happy, to be us. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Buttons. And I just see there's something about buttons, like Mr. Buttons, that's important. I don't know. It sounds like the name of a cat, but that just came through very, very clearly. But there's also the sense here with the Knight of Pentacles of slowly moving things forward. It's like sewing on buttons to close, right? It's tedious, but done right, it makes an outfit look so rich. Done right, as we slowly and steadily put things together, see what is needed, see what is not needed. There's a richness to our lives. There's a wealth, there's a prosperity. This isn't about who can get things done the fastest. This isn't about, show and pomp and circumstance or any of that. It is slowly and steadily moving towards our success and our bounty and what we desire. Slow it down. We put on timelines. We say, oh, it has to be by this, or it has to be like that. It has to do this, it has to do that. And Spirit's saying here, stop. A lot of times our own stress from what we hear from the rest of the world knocks us out of alignment with our own spiritual journey and our own way forward. Stop giving yourself somebody else's timeline. With the Star. Now, this is strong Aquarius energy coming through, yes. But this is also what our soul wishes for. And we're looking right now at what our soul wishes for. And we might not know. We might be looking at this and saying, well, I don't know what it is that my soul wishes for. I know what I cross my fingers and say, I want a new, XYZ. I want this, I want that. But this is saying, where do I need to be for me? What am I opening up to? How am I leading myself so forward? Spirit is also showing like putting our hand in water and scooping it up and letting it fall through. And it's kind of like just like letting our thoughts wander with a wish, with a desire, with an instinct. There's something here, and it almost feels like a fairy tale coming forward. And I don't know if there's a scene in, I'm getting Cinderella. So I don't know if there's a scene in Cinderella that's this where she puts her hand in the water and it comes through, or if it's like the bubbles when she's scrubbing the floor. It's something to do with water and a wish, almost like a princess wish. I don't know if somebody called this their princess wish, when they were younger, but there's something here in spirit's like, I need you to remember that. I need you to remember that. I need you to connect with that. Because with the Four of Wands reversed, all right, the Four of Wands is, this is the Minor Arcana marriage card. This is a sense of celebration. And there's something here that we're not celebrating. There's also a commitment that we're seeing we're not committed to anymore. Or we're saying, you know what, this isn't right for me. It can be a relationship. It can be, and when spirit is saying a relationship, it's the big relationships in our lives. It's the people that we love, right? But it's also work. It's, also our creativity. There's something here that we are not celebrating within ourselves. And there's something here that we haven't been celebrating for a really long time. It's tied to our wish. And what spirit is saying is, if you can't celebrate this part of you, what you want to create and cultivate, how are you feeding this wish? You're starving the wish and then wondering why the wish can't come forward. So just be aware of this during this time, where there's a sense here of like, if we think of this wish, and it's almost like our Cinderella wish. And I don't even understand if this is like, once this wish comes true, we go from like a rags to riches type of story. Okay. But there's a sense here of like, how can we have this wish come forward if we can't celebrate it? If we can't celebrate the creative aspect of ourselves? It brings us then to the Eight of Cups. We're not ready to walk away. So this can be a wish that we have, Aries, that people have thought like, oh, sensible of you, good job. You've walked away from it. You've done things properly. You've done things the way they're supposed to be done. But what happened is you just closed off your connection with spirit. And so you can go on for 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, times 100, right? And go on your sensibility. But slowly and steadily, you need to build towards the power of your dream and what you desire. And the Eight of Cups is like, I'm not ready to walk away from this. As much as people might think, oh, yeah, they're being sensible, they're walking away. I'm not ready to walk away from this dream. It might take different forms. I might not be playing in a rock band, and traveling around the world being famous, but I can still pick up my guitar, right? I can still sing in a band and answer, an ad. People are always looking for other people to come in and join and see if they connect with each other or not. And spirit's like, why the heck not go after your dream? Because you're not ready to walk away from it. This is something that you deeply desire. It's like, pick up a deck of tarot cards. Don't sit there and say, oh, well, I have to get them gifted to me and it has to be just like this. And during a full moon, I have to do this, I have to do that. No, just do. Do a whole bunch of little things that make your heart happy. See what sticks. It's kind of like throwing pasta against the wall. See what sticks. See what happens. Let's dive deeper, because why the heck not? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. Oh, okay. So it's really interesting here is with the Empress reverse. There's almost a sense with our wish. It's kind of like, well, when I meet the right person, right? Because we're represented by the Emperor. When we have that completion of like, kind of like the power couple, and the Empress come forward, it's like, oh, well, then I can do it now. Like, I can do it. I have the support. And what we're supposed to see here is that it's not about anybody else coming into our sphere. It's just not. Our wish happens when we are able to cultivate it and birth it forward ourselves. When we're able to say, you know what, this is really what I want. And we look at our fears and say, okay, this is what I'm afraid of. Yeah, valid, valid fears. I get this. But I reject the fact that they get to rule my life, the fears. Again, there's a disconnect with our sacred feminine energy, with our creative energy that's putting it forward. And I know some of you might be saying, Dane, I create, I cultivate, I push. I get that. I do. But Spirit is saying here, there's something that you've broken your covenant with. That when you were little, you said, I wanted to XYZ. And now it's like, well, now I'm just a little bit scared, or I'm a little bit overwhelmed, or you know what, I'm too old for this type of thing. And you're going to find inspiration in the most unlikely of places, like chalk drawing with your kids outside. And then you look at the kid drawing and you're like, I can do that. What about broadening this horizon? What about opening up this door? What about doing things in an unconventional way? Not for anybody else, but for us. Not making it structured and formed at first, but making it like free-form play, that kids really thrive with. We do too. It brings us to, we're crowned by the King of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. We need to embrace what we love and what we desire in our lives. The King of Cups is saying, I lead with my heart. And my heart, it gets to move me forward. Here we have a spindle, right, for spinning thread. And you just take thread, and I think it's like magic. You take thread and you get the spin just right, you get the pull on the wool just right, and you take this fiber, it's not thread yet, it's just, sheared and cleaned wool, and all of a sudden it makes thread that can become embroidery thread, that can become, wool to knit a sweater. It can become all these things, but you need to have the tension right, and you need to have the spin right. And what that means is, when I'm seeing it equated to your heart, it's like, I need to have things right. I need to have that movement of my heart and my energy and what I love and what I desire. I need to have that right for me to move forward in, for me to embrace. And we try to either, go too fast, go too slow. We try to rush, and the spindle isn't going to have it. We need to find out the speed, the weight, and kind of like the movement of that tool. And that tool for us is also our heart, our love, our desire, our passion. It moves us here to the Six of Pentacles. So we have things that are out of balance. They're just out of balance. It has to do with work, with home. It could be work-home life balance, but it is really affecting us, the way that we embrace what we love and what we desire and where we need to be and how we want to move forward. So here with the Six of Pentacles, it's like, okay, things need to be in balance. Things need to be in harmony. I'm looking at what's a mess in my life, and I'm being honest with myself. This is a judgment-free space. The happiness isn't moving forward the way that we wanted it to. And so instead of saying, okay, everything has to be organized just like this, it's saying, okay, things aren't as organized as I'd like them to be. That's fine. Good. How do I slowly move this forward? How do I get to where I need to be? How do I open up this door? And the Page of Swords, this isn't about learning, okay? Which, we might sit there and say, no, it's all about learning. We have the Knight of Pentacles. I slowly, steadily move forward. Now it's time for me to learn. But it's not like, oh, I have to start at square one, because we'll be a little bit more comfortable with that. Spirit's like, yeah, okay, you can start from the beginning and say, oh, I have to learn all of this before I can move forward. But now it's like, okay, you have the tools. You've bought everything you need. You have everything you need. It's time to do. And by Spirit saying you bought everything you need, what they're saying, what my guides are telling me is, I'm just seeing a box of everything that you need to do, your craft, your thing, move yourself forward. But it's now like, I've gathered all this information, I close up the box, I put it away, and I move on to the next thing. So that's something I tend to do very much, and it's very much me thing. So when I see that here, what it means is that you have all the tools. You have everything. You've gathered it up. You've done that hard work. Now it's time to implement. And that's where we're having a really hard time. That's when we're looking at things and we're being like an air sign energy and just kind of like putting it away, saying, well, I've gotten that conceptually, like I've figured it out how to do it in my mind, but putting into practice is going to be one of the hardest things. And that's why we have to be slow and patient with ourselves. We want to move forward super fast. That's great. But what our guides are telling us right now is that I'm definitely getting the message of, I tried to do it fast and it just led to frustration. Go slow. Go slow. There's still a lot to learn. There's a lot that hasn't been taken in. You don't have to be the perpetual student, but you have to listen. And it brings us to the Empress. There's almost a sense of when I meet this other half, this beautiful half to the Emperor, right? Everything will be perfect. It'll just naturally fall into place. And then I'll be able to move forward towards my dreams and desires and what I truly want. And that will be that. Spirit's coming forward and really telling us, no, it's not the case. We have to have the creative spirit in us. It's being balanced both in the masculine and the feminine, in our own bodies, in our own souls, in our own selves, to create and cultivate what we desire, love, want, and need. We are a student of our heart during this time. We're looking at the covenant that, was broken. The dream that we had with ourselves, the thing that we said, this is what I'm going to do. Now we start to learn and we start to be inspired in the most unlikely ways. We don't have to have that rock band. We don't have to, do things the way we thought we were going to do them when we were 15 years old. But what it shows us is that we're embracing that energy. We're finding that balance. The spindle is spinning. We're finding the perfect weight. The yarn is being made. And we're discovering. We're embracing. We're understanding more. And it brings us to the King of Pentacles. Prosperity, success, the way things are intertwined. I love it because you have the sheep in the background, right? You have the wool on the floor, and you have this embroidery of a pentacle, and you have the clothing that he's made. It's all come full circle. And we think of important inventions, right? We never think that one of the main ones was the spindle, so that we could make clothes. It was the ability to knit, to crochet, to, I forget the one with that stick. It's like nail burian. I don't remember, but it's an early form of Icelandic, crocheting, knitting that makes garments. What we're going to find is that we're finding the steps again. We lost them. We lost them along the way. The King of Pentacles is prosperity and success. It's also saying, I'm going to plant the seeds with my own two hands. I'm going to move this forward. I'm going to see what is desired, what is needed, where I want to be for myself, and I'm opening up the door. The King of Pentacles, I just see right now as like, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty anymore. I'm not afraid of the hard work. There's some hard work we don't want to do. It's like, well, that's not my path. Thank you very much. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to learn it. But there are other things that are coming forward here. And it is exciting. It's like, well, why not? Why not try this? Why not look at this? Why not push this forward? Aries, there's success to be had here. I mean, if we want to put it more bluntly and crassly, there's money to be had here. Where spirit thinks that's rather blunt and wants to know why we're so obsessed with this. It's not the thing that we've come to learn on this earth, but it makes living on this earth so much easier. Prosperity, success, bounty, abundance. With the King of Pentacles, there is a sense that we're seeing everything interwoven, weaving everything together, moving everything forward, and that's the game changer. We are changing the game, and that's profound. And we're doing it in real time. It moves us to the energy that our spirit guides want us to be mindful of, and that's the Death card. I don't know about you, Aries. I've had a lot happen in my life lately. It makes death a hell of a lot more real than it ever was. Even though it was experienced before, now it's just real. For some of us, it's quite bluntly being obsessed with or scared by death. But we also have to realize the transformation of life is always with us. And somebody, the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, somebody can be embracing the dying of the old self because dreams have shattered and things haven't moved forward the way that we had thought. And then because we are so sad, because we are so overwhelmed, the rebirth of the new can just seem so far away. So be mindful of this. We also have, with the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, this is very strong masculine energy coming forward. A person who rules by the heart, a person who's very practical. I just see this as like somebody who is really good with money and counting. And, I'm getting a picture of my grandpa who, had no real training at all, formal education. And he could just add numbers like this. I would love to have had that gift, but I do not. But he could just add numbers like a calculator. And he had, no training whatsoever. there is a sense of the Empress. Now, this could be a, a mother figure or a romantic figure where the role has changed. Okay? And it can be the inspiration we have gotten from them. It's a different sort of inspiration now. So just be mindful of this. Everything's changing, everything's evolving. Okay? We're not learning what to say anymore. We're embracing our hearts and we're putting things forward into action. Our subconscious message from spirit here is radiant. We are radiant in our power. We are radiant in our essence. We are radiant. It's time to start believing it. Our subconscious chakra message is truth. This is the throat chakra. Speak the truth, even if it's just to yourself. Even if you know, wow, if I speak the truth to this person, they're never going to speak to me again. But a lot of times also, if we're dealing with people day in, day out, there's only so long we can hold our tongue. At work, it's different. But here, it's be as truthful as humanly possible. Weigh and balance your energy with your truth, with what you desire, with what you want, with what you need. It moves you forward to your subconscious tarot message, which begins with the Six of Cups. A lot of the past is coming into play in the present. And that can be a bit of a sticky wicket because we can think, oh, I already know what's going on. This happened before. But the past never really repeats itself. There are different people. There are different ways things can be handled. So we say, wow, I had this experience before with this person, but it's not the same person. Understand that it can be completely different. It moves us forward to the Magician. Our subconscious energy here is also that there's magic. And we're standing before the altar of our existence, claiming our magic, claiming our passion, claiming what we desire, and not being afraid anymore. There's almost a sense of us Aries, and we can think, okay, it's funny, Aries claims and is strong and is powerful. We're also scared. We can also be overwhelmed. We have a gift, and we could have walked away from it. Right at that moment when we were picking it up, right at that moment where everything was coming together, and then it was like, nope, sorry, got a little bit scared, got a little bit overwhelmed, got a little bit, too much. And I walked away. Right when, oh, goodness. Yeah. And then the Five of Swords. Reverse. It's like, I'm not facing this battle again. I am embracing my magic. So know that there's a challenge that's coming up and it's like, man, this again. And now it's like, no, I'm not walking down that path anymore of doubt, destruction, hurt, pain, disappointment. I'm embracing what I need to be, who I need to be, how I need to move forward. There's magic to me. And I'm finally seeing it. All right. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. Please let me know what you thought of it. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. God bless. Bye.